think I fell in love. Pause. Dallas still stinks. How am I doing? King Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing. Hope you're hanging in there. So we finally got to meet our offensive and defensive coordinator today. We got to hear from them at a press conference. Now, we already know who Brian Johnson is. We love him already. He's perfect. But who the hell is Sean Desai? I didn't know until he said these few words, and then he won my heart. He won me over because he said he wants his defense to be a reflection of the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I'm talking about. Already, he is better than Anti-Gannon. Already, he understands the city of Philadelphia and their fans. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. Truly, truly, it means a lot. Now, as I was saying, you had the offensive and defensive coordinators today met with the media really for the first time. And we already knew what we were getting with Johnson. We already knew he was a great quarterback coach, great relationship with Jalen Hurts, and I'm not worried about the offensive coordinator position at all. It's the defensive coordinator position that I really worry about because in my opinion, okay, and I know this isn't maybe the popular opinion, I don't know, maybe it is, but I thought Gannon was a disaster. All right, I thought this is a guy who's really not that great of a coach. He was very easy to figure out. I mean, people told you he lined straight up and pretty much just play. Offensive coordinators, good quarterbacks, they would tear him up. It was just very easy. What Gannon had was tremendous talent around him. And I truly believe that the players bailed him out. I believe they bailed him out. He went to Arizona. Those stupid morons hired him as head coach. Thank God. Maybe the best move of the offseason. I love the fact that Howie Roseman wouldn't even let him on the plane. He said, you ain't even getting on this plane. And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? And he's going, you know, you've been colluding behind the scenes, been focusing on your new head coaching job instead of the Super Bowl. You know what's going on. And he played dumb like he wasn't. And we all know what happened with compensation and stuff. Bye-bye, Gannon. See you later. Wouldn't want to be you. Get the hell out. And bring in Sean Desai. Now, who is Sean Desai? What is he going to be like? That's my question. And I got to tell you, he really won me over. And I know he said a lot of good things. But this is what really won me over, okay? And I think it wins me over, and it probably wins older Eagle fans over as well, because we understand the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. We got to see Reggie White, Jerome, Clyde, the 46 defense with Buddy Ryan. We saw when Bud Carson was there, when Ray Rhodes was there. We understand defense. And those who are even older than me, they understand, when, they had the defenses in 1980 when they went to the Super Bowl and years beyond. I never got to see Chuck Bednarik, but the Eagles have a great history of defense, and their defense identity, as long as I remember, has always been about pressure. It's always been about aggressive play, pressure, and a reflection of the city of Philadelphia. And this is what won me over with Sean Desai. He says, we want to be able to run, we want to be able to hit, and we want to play smart. And I think that's a reflection of who we are. Obviously, as a Philadelphia Eagles defense, a reflection of really the history of the Philadelphia Eagles defense and the reflection of this city. And that's what we want to be. We want to encompassing part of that. Okay? We want to be able to be felt. Whether you're watching us on TV, whether you're in the stadium, and obviously on the field, we want to make sure people feel the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now, to me, That that statement is such an important statement. And what it means to me is it means that we are going to get after it. We are going to be far more aggressive than we were under Jonathan Gannon. We are not going to just go out there and play, man on man, or not man to man, but just line up and not really just, play vanilla defense. A lot of times Jonathan Gannon's defense is very vanilla. That's not going to be the case with Sean Desai. And if you remember, under Jim Johnson, one of the things that was always spectacular about his defense was his ability to hide the blitzes and mask the blitzes. Teams did not know where his blitzes were coming from. And if you go look at Jim Johnson's record against quarterbacks in their first 2 years of play, it was ridiculous. He didn't lose to young quarterbacks. Yet, with Jonathan Gannon, you can remember games versus Zach Wilson. Well, Wilson goes out, stinks his whole rookie year, goes out, kills the Eagles. We've had quarterbacks that should have no chance in hell to go out and put huge yardage on us, go out and do that, because Jonathan Gannon's unwillingness to show different looks, to be aggressive, to blitz, and he would just play it out. The stupid bend don't break. It is Jonathan Gannon's defense, in my opinion, was everything that was not a reflection of the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. The only thing that really made it was last year was the fact that the Eagles got 70 sacks. They got a lot of sacks, and I don't credit that to Jonathan Gannon. Although he wanted to take a lot of credit for it, I believe that they just had that much talent on defense. So Sean Desai has won me over. He has won me over big time just with those comments. Now, he talks a lot about a lot of different things. He talked about how it's emotional to come back to Philly. He was a coach. He coached with Temple for a while. He talked about how they're going to give certain looks and mask things and try to confuse teams. He also tends to blitz a lot more than Jonathan Gannon. I think Gannon blitzed like 9% last year. Desai usually is in the 20s, which is actually a little low for me, but I'll take the 20% over the 9%. He really impressed me. I really liked what he said, and that really won me over, talking about being a reflection of the defense, the history. I mean, we're talking about great defenses. So the best defense I've ever seen in my life was the 91 Philadelphia Eagles. I thought that were the best defense I've ever seen, even over the 85 Bears. They'll never get the credit because they didn't win a Super Bowl. They just didn't have enough on offense. Randall Cunningham got hurt, and then Jim McMahon got hurt. It was just a disaster. But that was still the best defense I've ever seen. I've never seen a defense be on the field like 40 minutes a game and give up 6 points. It was totally insane. And that's what he is talking about. I really was impressed with everything he said. He said a lot. Now what we need to see from Sean Desai is to take the things he talked about and apply it in real life and apply it into the game. But he gave me those warm and fuzzy feelings Jonathan Gannon never gave me. The closest Jonathan Gannon ever came was the NFC Championship game when he said he was going to gut, and then he went out and he wasn't that great. He didn't gut anything. He didn't do anything. Okay, Hassan Reddick took matters into his own hands in the NFC Championship game. And speaking of the NFC Championship game, dude, what's up with the 49ers? Now their coach is sitting there crying, talking about, I'm glad we're not playing the Eagles early in the season, so we'll have a quarterback. Man, that team, the 49ers, they are literally the biggest babies I've ever seen in professional sports. It is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe it. But they're going to get us, and I can't wait to whip up on them. But it is what it is, man. And Sean Desai, thank you for coming out there and saying the things you did. I needed to hear that. I really feel like this is going to be just a magical year. We've got a coordinator who respects the history of the defense and the reflection of what the Eagles' defense is. Now we've got Kelly Green coming back, and, I think the Eagles have everything in front of them. As I've said many times, I believe this is the golden era of Philadelphia Eagles football. I truly believe that. And, I think everything is off to a really, really, really good start. So I cannot wait to see what happens later today, or later Friday. Because I'm not sure if I'm putting this video late Thursday or early Friday, but I will have another video. I'm going to talk about the NFC East schedules. We're going to go over some of the other team schedules, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Eagles, though, they are obviously sitting pretty in this division and in this conference. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.
Russell, Maryland, and Leon Lett. Okay. This is the Eagles.
Kelly Porter.
Eagles.
There it is.
Nolan Smith.
Sandwich. Oh, yeah. We're eating.